let's get to this topic. I don't even have any notes, really. I'm going to shoot from the hip. That's what I do anyway. Emissions trucks. What do I think of them? I hate them. I freaking hate them. I understand the reason for wanting to clean up the air and the environment, and that's good, but I hate them. They ain't got it figured out. I mean, with that said, what's behind me? A truck with all the emission stuff on it. In fact, on the drive home from Ohio, what did I get? An emissions code. So I talked to Ryan, and this is just going to be how it is, man. I'm a pretty good mechanic, so I'm blessed there. If you're not a mechanic or don't have any kind of mechanical skills or knowledge, it's going to cost you. It's going to be a nonstop sensor. I can switch sensors. I can do things. I can YouTube. I can talk to mechanics friends. I can do most of my own stuff. So with this here, talk to Ryan, and we think it's not a foolproof thing, since he has changed everything else on this SCR system, the dozer, the nozzle, the sensors are all good, brand new wiring harness. The only thing he hadn't touched was the DEF fluid filter, $90 little piece of chunk filter. I had to get it from Peterbilt, but pack car filter. So I switched that out, and we'll hit the road and see what happens. Tomorrow I'm going up to Thermo King. I'm going to do a force regen on it, see if it'll throw that code again. It is what it is, man. Here's the thing, what do? You know, this is kind of like, I'm old enough to remember the 80s when they first started smogging cars and what a disaster that was. Oh, I should do my grooming before I do the video. Started smogging cars before, when they started smogging cars, they just didn't have it figured out. It sucked. I mean, brand new Camaro or Corvette off the lot had like 180 horsepower. It was a joke. Honda Accord's got that much now. But they couldn't breathe. And, it took a long time. And what do they got? They got it figured out now. You can go buy a 800 horsepower emissions legal vehicle from what the Hellcat or whatever, any of them. Yeah, all of them are emissions legal. Lambo, all that. And they don't have any problems. I mean, it's always problems, right? But they got it figured out. It runs fine. You almost don't have no emissions problems for the whole time you own the car. They'll get there on trucks, guys, but they ain't there yet. So right now, we got to bear it. We got to bear the headache of this emissions disaster that the manufacturers haven't figured out. And it kind of got dropped in their lap. They would rather not do this, but the government has mandated it. And it's here to stay. It ain't going away, guys. We can complain, we can throw fits, we can do whatever, but it ain't going away. So my advice to you, considering the options, and we'll get to the options, is just bear it. Learn these systems. If you can learn the systems and know how to run the truck, this truck has a PDI tuner, so I can monitor things, see what's going on, catch things before they become a big problem, do a couple forced regens a week to try to keep things cleaned out, do a lot of my own mechanicing and troubleshooting, at least changing sensors, carry sensors with you, get the sensors that give you issues and put them in the box and save you thousands of dollars. Become educated on these systems. The only other options you have at this point in the trucking world is three. Option number one, go get an older non-emissions truck. Nothing wrong with it. If you can find a great, nice pre-2000 truck, I guess even pre-2008, they had EGRs on all the way back to 2000, I think. I don't know, but if you the main problem we have is the filters, the particulate filters and the SCR filters and all the sensors that go along with that stuff and the DEF and all that crap. DEF and DEF sensors and DEF filters, maybe, I don't know, just nonstop, right? So if you can get a truck before all that, which I think was 08, whatever, Get you a nice old truck with a clean, someone took care of it, or it's been refurbished, it's got a rebuilt motor in it. That's option number one to get away from it. Nothing wrong with that option. I was actually looking for that. But here's something you got to pay attention to. A lot of companies won't lease you on with a truck like that. The majority of the companies are going to want 2010 and newer. A company I'm pretty sure I'm going to is 20 years old, so I could do 2001 and newer. But then it hits 2022, I got to get a new truck, right? So I can go back a little further than that, but the majority of companies are 2010 and newer. And because they're all running e-logs, but I think you can do e-log from 2001 on. So make sure you can put it where you want to put it before you go buy that older truck, okay? And remember, you're talking about a truck that's pretty old, so you have to check it over really good. So, and if you're going to do your own authority, it doesn't really matter. But I'm talking these videos are mostly geared towards guys that are going to lease a truck on somewhere. Option number 2, get a glider. May God be with you. I don't know if they completely stopped making gliders. I think they did. The manufacturers won't sell them anymore. A glider is a truck. It's a brand new truck. They roll off the assembly line with no engine and generally no transmission in it. And someone takes it and puts an older motor in it, and it's a loophole to get around the emissions. They're going to close it someday. You can bet on it. The feds are going to close that loophole. They're going to say, now you've had long enough or something. But I think the manufacturers stopped making those. Places like Fitzgerald, everybody knows that. They can't get them. I wouldn't get a glider from Fitzgerald, but we won't go into that here. They take some really big shortcuts, and pretty much everybody knows about it. But anywhere, if you're going to do the glider yourself, I don't know if you can get them, or they're very limited in production. So if you go shopping for a glider right now, may God go with you. Cha-ching, ching, ching. Big money, stupid money. $200,000+ for a nice newer glider. I mean, a joke. So that's my spiel on the glider. If you can find a glider and afford it, there's another way. You get a newer truck with an older motor and no emissions, and that's the best of everything. I wish I could do it. I just couldn't pull it off. Didn't pan out for me. And it would be a limited time thing only. Number 3, delete it. All right, now here we go. A lot of guys do it, and I ain't here to put no one down, and I don't care what you do. You do whatever. You're a grown man. Do it. You're taking a huge risk in doing that. If I did it, I will be the one guy that the federal agent pulls over, and I'll be out of business. They'll find me into oblivion. They'll take my home. They'll take my truck. And they'll probably put me in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, to make an example out of me. So just know, it is highly illegal. If you get caught, you are in big, big trouble. You better not go to California, because they're already kind of checking that stuff now. And they're going to, that's a communist nation over there. So that's going to be more and more and more. And I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to find you in oblivion, impound the truck till you put all the emissions back on it. I'm sure it's going to be a mess. So that's one biggest negative to deleting it. So think about that. You're running a professional business, and you're going to put it all at risk over some sensors and issues. Hey, I hear you, man. Okay, but it's too big a risk for me. And a bigger problem you're going to find is, in fact, when I was buying this truck, Ryan got a call from a guy that he went to 2 or 3 shops, and they kicked him out. Shops now, if you're pulling into them and you're all deleted, they won't work on your truck. They won't. They tell you to leave because they don't want no part of it, and they can get fined for not reporting it or something like that. So you're going to have a lot of trouble trying to get your truck repaired on non-emission stuff. You can go in there for a head gasket leaking. They open the hood. Nope, out of here. We're not doing that. We're not going to be a real part of this. So truck repair with a deleted truck is now becoming an issue, because they've already cracked down on some shops that were doing deletes and working on deleted trucks. So now most of your big players and dealerships and stuff, you roll in there deleted, they just kick you out. They don't want it. They're not going to do it. So that alone would keep me from deleting my truck. So I blow a head gasket or something, I need to pull it in and get it fixed. I don't really want to do it in the Petro parking lot. Roger? So those are your only options, I think, right? Older truck, glider, or delete. Like I said in the beginning, I think you're going to be better off to just put on your big boy pants and take it on the chin, man. This ain't going away. They're getting better. Every year that goes by, there's less emissions issues with these trucks. And probably 10 years from now, after I retire, or maybe even 5 years, they'll have this all figured out. And the trucks will run like cars do now, where you just buy a car and pretty much don't worry about it for 100,000 miles for the most part. They'll get there on trucks, they just ain't there yet. So that's my spiel on emissions trucks. I hate them, but they're here to stay, guys. All right, you guys have a good one. God bless you, and we'll see you at the next video. Bye now.